Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look at this picture right here because that picture is really what captured my attention because I think it gives you the essence of how young this girl was. The fact that she's just starting out in school, a very bright smile. She says that her favorite book is Dr. Seuss, and when she grows up, she wants to be a princess. Well, I can tell you guys this: being a princess is not something most people can do as an occupation, but I do love the fact that children are so imaginative, if that's even a word. The fact that, they have such a wide array of imagination, just so innocent. And children are absolutely awesome. And I think this little girl was awesome. But I just think that her circumstance of who she was born to really put a hamper on her growing up to become something great and being that princess. So I know the dad might feel some type of way about what I have to say, but I think he might appreciate what I'm going to say later on. And I know the mom is not going to like what I got to say. So if you guys can't handle the fact that I might say some things that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities, you might need to exit the channel because the details are probably going to get your panties in a bunch. Okay? Now, this is coming out of Georgia, so Georgia takes another L again. The news reported is digging deeper into the background of a man who is charged with capital murder in the death of a 5-year-old Columbus girl. This baby was 5 years old. Just barely old enough to be in pre-K. Her name, let me see if I can get a better picture of her up here. That was the biological father. We'll get back to him here in a moment. I want a solo picture of her. Y'all bear with me just a moment. Let me see if I can do that. That's probably my favorite picture. Beautiful little princess. Her name is Kamari Holland, 5 years old. She was reported missing early Monday morning on December the 13th of 2021. Very recently. And she was reported missing by her biological mother, and we'll get to her here in a moment. Her body was found late that night at an abandoned home in Phoenix City. Now, here's the thing. It was reported as a missing child, and then they ended up finding this child dead. So sometimes when we have these missing children, they are found, happy ending, and then you have stories like this that are so tragic, and this is what we want to prevent. We want to prevent this from happening. That fool, that creature, that demon that you see on the left-hand side of my screen, let me see if I can get a solo shot of him up here. I want y'all to take a look at this. This dummy right here, his name is Jeremy Tremaine Williams, who's 37 years old, almost my age. 37 years old, and he has been charged with capital murder in Russell County and faces the death penalty if convicted. You guys know that I'm not really crazy about us taking a life away off of this earth, even if we are in a position legally to do so, like the courts are and the prisons are. But when you hear about what he did to this baby, I'm sorry, but I just think that the ultimate penalty under law is righteous for some punishments, like this one. On Tuesday, during Williams' preliminary court hearing, Russell County Circuit Court Judge David Johnson issued a gag order in this case, but public records can still talk. Williams has a history. Let me back this up like a U-Haul truck. This dude has a history of arrest. Hashtag, can you say when you date thugs, you date death, like this shirt says? That's what this icon is. A history of arrest, but no convictions that the news could find, but a history of arrest. In Muskogee County, Williams was arrested on October 1st, 2021 at his Columbus home. He was charged with 2 misdemeanors, simple battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. A police report states that William slapped his wife in the face, and it was witnessed by a minor child. Williams was in state court last week and entered a not guilty plea. That's only preliminary. His wife did not ask for a stay away order. Even though you have a young child, were they scared of him? I don't know. But if you were in danger so much that you needed to call the police, report it, get this man charged, why would a stay away order not be standard? Why would you have to ask for it? I don't care if the woman didn't ask for it or not. If you guys are listening to the sound of my voice, y'all tell me what you think. Your honest opinion. If a woman wants to press these charges, or if there's enough evidence to press charges, and if the kid reported what they saw and were honest about what they saw and said that I saw this man hit my mama, don't you think it should be mandatory that there should be a stay away order? That should just come with the territory, right? Just like when you buy property, it should be understood that you're going to cut the damn grass and upkeep the property, right? Just like when you buy a car, it should be expected that you're going to need to do an oil change. You're going to have to put gas in the car, keep tires on the car, get an alignment every once in a while. There's just some things that should just come with this territory. That's completely irresponsible. But let's move forward. In Russell County, Williams is charged with aggravated child abuse in a 2009 case involving a 3-year-old boy. He was accused of immersing the lower half of the boy's body into a pot of boiling water. Do I need to repeat that? I don't think I do. Williams' defense was the boy pulled the water on top of himself, and a jury acquitted him in 2012. So let me answer what some people might say when they say, well, he doesn't have any convictions. Here's the catch. Here's the caveat when I can answer those no convictions. If it smells like smoke, there's probably a fire. If you have all of these incidents where people are accusing you of beating people up and abusing children, I would have to think that the children might be in potential danger, and now you're involved with another child in this situation that ends up dead, and evidence is mounting against you. I don't think that's a coincidence. Everybody catch that? I don't think it's a coincidence that you have a number of children that are involved, a number of women that are involved, and violence is involved. That's not a coincidence. Let's move forward. Here's what Russell County Sheriff Heath Taylor said on the December 14, 2021 in a news conference before the gag order was issued. He had several involvements in the past with children. Let me repeat that. He had several involvements with children in the past. That's the part that I want to highlight. He has a couple of cases where he was actually charged with abuse of children by the sheriff's office here in 2009, and then he was acquitted by a jury in 2012 of that case. And he has been charged in Columbus as well of abuse of a child. In a news conference, Taylor also mentioned that Williams was a suspect in the death of a 1-year-old in Alaska. Y'all smell that? Let me read that again. Something smells in here. Let me read that again. Williams is suspected in a death case of a 1-year-old child in Alaska. And y'all don't think that something stinks here? Y'all don't smell any smoke. I don't see any poo emojis in the chat. Y'all don't sense that something's wrong here? A suspect of a dead child in Alaska, a suspect of dipping a child in boiling hot water in another case, and then abusing another child, slapping and beating up your ex-wife, and now you're involved and your name comes up with another dead child? Really? Huh? This stinks to high heaven. Thank you. Let's keep going. There are ongoing investigations into Holland's murder in both Columbus and Russell County. On Tuesday at a news conference, Taylor did not rule out additional charges. The news was able to speak with Kamari Holland's cousin, Adrian Davis, who said the family is devastated following the little girl's brutal murder. Davis said everyone is trying to support the girl's father. It's a difficult time, and it's been very difficult. Corey is basically beside himself. We are all trying to take care of everything for him. The community is also rallying around the family, according to Davis. Let me try to skip some of this so we can move forward a little more. He also said thank you to law enforcement. That's rare, but I'm glad they said that. They said thank you to law enforcement. They announced on Wednesday funeral arrangements for the little girl, and Taylor Funeral Home at 1514 Fifth Avenue in Phoenix City is handling the arrangements. A viewing is scheduled on yesterday, December 21st, and there will be a private family viewing and a public family viewing, which was today, December the 22nd, so that's already passed. But let me give you guys the fair usage, because y'all have got to see these news interviews. We got a lot to say. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Let me take a quick pause and say, if you guys would, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up if you're watching. What we want to get is 1 thumb up for every person that's watching right now. So if y'all will help us reach that goal, that'd be awesome. Just hit that thumbs up, okay? Here we go. Let's get it.
Good evening, and thank you for trusting News 3. I'm Phil Scoggins. It has been a tragic 24 hours in the Chattahoochee Valley. A 5-year-old girl is dead, and a Columbus man in custody accused of killing her. News 3 has been following the story since early Monday morning, when Kamari Holland's mother reported her missing from a Columbus residence. The child's body found late last night inside this abandoned home on 15th Avenue in Phoenix City. She was pronounced dead around 11 last night. The house is abandoned, but Russell County Sheriff Heath Taylor confirms this man, Jeremy Tremaine Williams, previously lived in the residence. Williams was taken into custody last night at the Bamboo Motel on Opelika Road.
I'm going to rewind that so y'all can hear that again. Where was he living?
She was pronounced dead around 11 last night. The house is abandoned, but Russell County Sheriff Heath Taylor confirms this man, Jeremy Tremaine Williams, previously lived in the residence. Williams was taken into custody last night at the Bamboo Motel on Opelika Road. Williams made an initial court appearance at the Russell County Courthouse this afternoon. News 3's Sacra Gray joining us now with the latest.
That's right, Phil. Jeremy Williams was in court for less than 20 minutes. Circuit Court Judge David Johnson was quick to issue a gag order in the high-profile case that's drawn national attention.
I'm going to call something out early, and I want to see if y'all catch this. We got a good amount of people here. If y'all would, click that thumbs up. We want to try to get our number up a little bit. So if y'all would, please click that thumbs up. I want to see how many of you guys are going to catch this. There is somebody else in this story that needs to be arrested as well for neglecting this child and omitting the protection that this child needed. Do y'all have any idea who else needs to be arrested on top of this man? Who else needs to be arrested?
Williams was wearing a bulletproof vest and was shackled and cuffed as he was brought into the courtroom. He told Judge Johnson he did not want an attorney. However, because it's a death penalty case, Johnson appointed attorney Chuck Floyd to advise Williams. Floyd immediately asked for the gag order, which Chief Assistant Russell County DA Rick Chansey opposed. Here's why Floyd says he wanted the gag order.
I've handled capital murder cases in the past where we've had to have change of venues, and it was extremely tough to get a unprejudiced jury venire. Therefore, we wanted a gag order until a further hearing is held on that. We'll respect whatever the judge does on that, but clearly everybody wants a fair trial here.
Authorities say Williams knew Holland's mother, but did not describe the nature of the relationship.
They did not describe the nature of the relationship. Well, let me tell y'all, this was mom's boyfriend. So if y'all did not know that, this was mom's boyfriend. So while they try to hide that little bit of information, they hide it from people like me that have an opinion. They want to hide it from us because they don't want us to know what's really going on and for us to ask for more charges against the people who caused this to happen. And I'll prove it here in a minute. A few more videos.
But clearly, everybody wants a fair trial here.
Authorities say Williams knew Holland's mother, but did not describe the nature of the relationship.
So if he knew the mother and they won't describe the relationship, how did he get access to the child? What other logical, what did he just find this woman randomly and just kidnap her kid? Is that the way it works? He clearly doesn't have any problem getting a woman. He's got 3 different situations where 3 different kids were allegedly abused. He clearly doesn't have a problem getting access to young, defenseless children. So I would assume he's not dating the fathers of these children. Maybe he is, but I don't think he is. I'm going to assume that if he's not dating the fathers, then he's probably dating the mothers, right? Okay.
Sheriff Heath Taylor says Kamari Holland was sexually assaulted and the cause of death appears to be asphyxiation.
Sexually assaulted. How would he have that much time to sexually assault any child? How would any boyfriend have that much time to sexually assault a child? Unless you were constantly leaving your children alone with this man, leaving your children unattended, usually while you're at work. Thank you for posting that. You have that much trust in a man that has an accusation record as long as a mile road? I can guarantee you none of these women did a background check on him, which is irresponsible. Left in his care, thank you. What qualified this man to be a babysitter? I can almost guarantee you he didn't have a reputable job. He wasn't employed, bringing in any income. What do you want to bet that he didn't have a regular job if he had all this time to sit at home and rape children? The reason why I say that is because if the mom was home, which I guess he still could, I would assume that he probably wouldn't be trying to rape the child if the mom is home, because he would either be trying to be sexually involved with the mom, or the mom would know, the mom would be there. He's probably doing this when he's left alone with the child, and if he's left alone with the child while the mom is at work, then that means he probably is not working when he should be working, right? See how I break that down?
Here's what Sheriff Taylor said this morning at a news conference before today's gag order was issued.
Well, it started.
You said, why didn't she leave him with the biological father? Hold your horses. I do have an answer for you. We're going to get there. Let me tell you guys this. The mom was not supposed to have the kid. Uh-oh. Told y'all might want to hold on to your panties and your boxers tonight. I'm going to say that again. The mom was not supposed to have the child. Legally, she wasn't supposed to have a kid. We'll get there.
As a missing 5-year-old, and it's ended with the death of a 5-year-old and the sexual abuse of a 5-year-old. So it's extremely difficult. I don't care who you are. I've been in this business for 35 years, and it never is easy to watch a case like this or to even have to investigate it. And if
Okay, I'm going to skip some of these because the videos are a little bit long. This is the biological father. I think I'm going to let this one play, and then we'll go to the next video.
Yeah, just speak up, okay?
Kamari meant the world to me. Like, I would never be the same from this day on, but with all my family and friends, I guess they'd keep me strong. But Kamari is everything to me, and now she gone.
Well, what are you going to remember most about her?
Her waking me up in the morning with that beautiful smile and them eyes.
Perfect. Any last words you want to share?
I will never forget you, princess. I will forever to keep you relevant in this life. Love you.
I like this dad. I like this dad a lot. Okay? I will get to him here in just a moment. That's actually the biological father, but I want y'all to hear his full interview. We'll get there here in a minute. Matter of fact, I think this is the funeral. Let me skip this. Yeah, we'll skip this part. We don't need to see that right now. Let me skip that one.
It's nearly 2 full days after the body of a previously missing 5-year-old was found. Authorities are now back on scene in the area Kamari Holland was last seen alive. Investigators appear to be searching a house.
You ask, how did she get the child? We're going to get there. Matter of fact, I think these next couple of videos are actually going to explain how she ended up getting access to the child that she wasn't supposed to have access to. Who had custody? Hold on, we're going to get there. Hold on.
On Bowman Street in Columbus, several unmarked law enforcement vehicles could be seen at a home on that street. Bowman Street is the area where Kamari Holland reportedly went missing in the early morning hours of Monday, December 13th. The little girl's body was found later that night at an abandoned house on 15th Avenue in Phoenix City. Meanwhile, funeral arrangements for Kamari.
Oh, and I didn't even realize what they just said. They said the body was found at this abandoned house that mom's boyfriend used to live in. Boy, that is so sad.
Night at an abandoned house on 15th Avenue in Phoenix City. Meanwhile, funeral arrangements for Kamari have been announced. A viewing is scheduled for 3 to 5 p.m. on Tuesday, December 21st at Taylor Funeral Home in Phoenix City. There will be a private family viewing prior to the...
So all of that happened yesterday and today as of this video. We'll skip that portion of it. Let me let y'all hear this.
Very difficult time. It's been very difficult. Corey is basically beside himself. It's the reason why we're basically out trying to take care of everything for him.
So far, the GoFundMe has raised almost $10,000 of the $15,000 goal. A link to donate is available on our website at
Another GoFundMe, no life insurance at 5 years old. 5 years old, no life insurance. As a matter of fact, I think what makes that more egregious than it is because of where the father, the biological father, is from. He, more than anybody, should understand how valuable life insurance is, because I'll just tell you, the biological father is from Chicago, and he moved to this area to leave the violence. If he saw that living in Chicago, I think that he should understand that better than anybody should. That things happen, okay? But we'll get back to that.
WRBL.com. We're learning new details tonight about the man charged with capital murder in connection with Holland's death. News 3's Chuck Williams has been digging deeper today. He's joining us now with more. Chuck?
Phil, the Russell County Circuit Court Judge David Johnson issued a gag order in this case, but public records can still talk. The 37-year-old Williams has a history of arrests, but no convictions that News 3 could find. Williams was charged with aggravated child abuse in a 2009 case involving a 3-year-old boy in Russell County. He was accused of immersing the lower half of the boy's body into a pot of boiling water. Williams' defense was the boy pulled the water on top of himself. A jury acquitted Williams in 2012. Williams was arrested August 1st of this year at his Columbus home, charged with 2 misdemeanors: simple battery, family violence, and cruelty to children, 3rd degree. A police report states that Williams slapped his wife in the face, and it was witnessed by a minor child. Williams was in state court just last week and entered a not guilty plea. His wife did not ask for a stay-away order. Here's what Russell County Sheriff Heath Taylor said yesterday in a...
We've already heard that part. Let's skip to the next video. Like I said, I think that's egregious. No stay-away order.
Columbus Police Department began work in this case and did a lot of great work and developed Mr. Jeremy Tremaine Williams as a suspect in the kidnapping of Kamari. We had received information that Mr. Williams had lived in Phoenix City at an address that was currently vacant. Agents went to that address, and it was at that time that we found the body of Kamari Holland. She was deceased, and the manner of death at this time looks to be asphyxiation. It did appear from the scene that there was some sexual abuse. He was placed in custody and has been charged with capital murder in Alabama.
The defendant in this case has been charged with a capital offense. Under Alabama law, that means that if he is convicted, he will be facing either life without parole or the death sentence. If the facts turn out to be as we are seeing them unfold, I have been speaking with Mr. Davis a lot on this case. This will be a case in which the death penalty will be sought if the facts continue to unfold as we're seeing them.
I know a little bit about Mr. Williams. He has several involvements in his past with children. He has a couple of cases where he was actually charged with abuse of children in Phoenix City or here by a sheriff's office here in 2009, and then he was acquitted by a jury in 12 of that case, and then he has been charged in Columbus as well of abuse of a child. In that case, I'm not sure of the outcome. And then we have information where he was a suspect in a 1-year-old death in Alaska, where he was a suspect but never charged because of...
That's too many incidents of children being abused and murdered that his name was associated with.
Not able to get enough evidence in that case. So I feel confident that we have the offender in custody, and that our work in this case and our autopsy at the state will produce enough evidence to get a conviction on Mr. Williams for the capital murder of Kamari.
This is an early on investigation. Obvious reasons we cannot disclose a lot of details about it, but the number one priority is getting closure for this baby who was taken away from us at this time of year.
It started as a mistake.
All right, I can see it buffering. Hold on. I can see it. I think we might be back. Are we good now? I saw it buffering. I saw it buffer. I saw it. I don't know why it does that. Sorry. I know. I saw it. I saw it.
Missing 5-year-old, and it's ended with the death of a 5-year-old and the sexual abuse of a 5-year-old. And I think every person from CPD that first took the report to the investigators that I had here last night will never forget this case, ever. And it's difficult.
Okay, now, I want you guys to hear the father, the biological father's interview, and then right after that, we're going to play the mom's interview. They're both about 2 minutes apiece, okay? So y'all bear with me. Here we go. Here's the biological father's interview. Hear him, and then we'll hear the mom.
We have an exclusive interview with the father of little 5-year-old Kamari Holland, who was found dead earlier this week. Holland's father tells us he's been emotionally drained since the passing of his daughter, and he thanks the community for the outpouring of love and support. Our James Giles has the story.
Say we love you, Kamari.
Corey Holland says his life is an emotional roller coaster since his daughter, 5-year-old Kamari Holland, was raped and killed earlier this week in Phoenix City. Police say 37-year-old Jeremy Williams is responsible.
Read what you sow.
They brought him over to Alabama. Because guess where they want? Where we want?
What's that?
You read between the lines.
Williams is being charged with capital.
Why do people like this get on camera to just act a damn fool and be seen, sitting here looking like the Kool-Aid man? I'm sorry, but this woman is ridiculous. Let's hear that again.
Read what you sow.
They brought him over to Alabama. Because guess where they want? Where we want?
What's that?
We gonna give them where we want them. Y'all know what I'm talking about. What need to be understood don't need to be explained. God, why? Every video there has to be a fool in the video. Oh my goodness.
Read what you sow.
They came.
Y'all, all we needed to hear was from the biological father. Why couldn't we just leave it at that? This woman is about as bright as an eclipse. Woo!
Brought him over to Alabama. Because guess where they want? Where we want?
What's that?
You read between the lines.
Why?
Williams is being charged with capital murder in Alabama. Per Alabama law, Williams will either face life in prison without parole or the death penalty.
Today, I probably only cried like once or twice, but Monday on up to here, like, I'm so drained, like.
And Holland says that's because not only has he been grieving the death of one child, but he's fighting to gain back custody of his son.
Well, they tried. They tried, but we were rocky. He come home. We beat that.
And according to the father, his 3-year-old, who has the same mother as Kamari, Christy Hoskins, was taken from him right after his daughter's death. He says he allowed the children to visit their mother, who was not supposed to have the kids without supervision.
What? Let's hear that again. Here's your answer. I want y'all to hear this again. I'm going to just replay it.
Christy Hoskins was taken from him right after his daughter's death.
This is the biological mother. She did not have custody of the children.
After his daughter's death, he says he allowed the children to visit their mother, who was not supposed to have the kids without supervision. He says he allowed the children to visit their mother, who was not supposed to have the kids without supervision. He says he allowed the children to visit their mother, who was not supposed to have the kids without supervision. Says he allowed the children to visit their mother, who was not supposed to have the kids without supervision.
I don't care if people don't like me rewinding. I don't really care. I want to make sure and drive that point home through the ground. She was not supposed to have the children without being supervised. I'm going to tell you guys something. I actually understand where the dad is coming from, because most men and most fathers, or not most, I'll say a lot. That's probably too big of a statement. A lot of fathers understand what it's like to be kept away from your children when all you have to do is just talk to the person you helped create those children with, and they should be like, here's your kid.
He allowed the children.
Right? That's the way it should work. So as a dad, he knew my kid should be able to be with the mom, but the mom clearly presented a danger to the kids, so it was not a good idea to let her kids be around her. She hasn't proven herself to be a good mother at all, and you could tell in her face. She looks high right there. Either she's smoking meth, smoking pipe, smoking grass, smoking angel dust, smoking her life away, but you could tell in the face that she's a drug addict. That's really easy to tell. She looks a hot damn
After
mess.
his daughter's...
Look at that. Look at her face. Not just because of a chipped tooth. You get a chipped tooth for any reason. She just looks like a drug addict. But she was not supposed to have access to these kids unsupervised. The reason why this kid is dead is because the dad let these kids around her unsupervised. And what does she do? Turn around and put those kids around her allegedly murderous boyfriend, who likes to stick children in boiling pots of water, beat them and slap them and murder them and rape them. Those are the charges against that man.
Christy Hoskins, was taken from him right after his daughter's death. He says he allowed the children to visit their mother, who was not supposed to have the kids without supervision.
We believe that the mother and the offender did have a relationship, not from a dating perspective, but did know each other.
Holland adds the kid's mother only had the kids less than 24 hours before Kamari was taken by 37-year-old Williams. Russell County Sheriff Heath Taylor also points out this week, Williams is a known drug dealer, but declined to say if drugs were involved in the little girl's abduction. Like many parents, Corey Holland says he always wanted to do what's best for his children. That's why 5 years ago, when he moved from Chicago to Phoenix City, all he had on his mind was creating a better life for his daughter, who would soon be born.
We need to pause right there. That is a huge moment, and I'm going to let it play again, because I've talked about this before, and I hope y'all remember that I've said this.
Like many parents, Corey Holland says he always wanted to do what's best for his children. That's why 5 years ago, when he moved from Chicago to Phoenix City, all he had on his mind was creating a better life for his daughter, who would soon be born.
Right there. I told you guys that the violence rate in Chicago is quite ridiculous. It's really high, and it's not smart for anybody to live in Chicago right now. It's just not. And if you live in the danger zone, pretty much any place in Chicago is a danger zone at this point, because they're starting to venture out from just in little areas that now starting to commit these murders and shootings and all this type of stuff in other areas. It puts everybody at risk, okay? So the dad was trying to escape that. How long ago did I say that if you live in Chicago, if you care about your kids, if you live in those danger areas or high risk areas or any area out there, you should probably move somewhere else. It seems that this father might have heard my message. It seemed that this father might have cared about his future and his children's future and moved. That's what I've been asking for a long time. And he actually followed those instructions. The father needs to be saluted. Kudos for that. That means he cared. That means he cared more than about himself, which is an amazing thing. You can tell the father is a bit rough around the edges, but look where he comes from. That's to be expected. But the fact that he has enough wherewithal within himself to try to do better for his own legacy, that should be saluted, and I commend that father for that. because that shows that he loved his kids. And it also shows that he loved his kids because he did exactly what a lot of aunts do, a lot of grandparents do, and other relatives, cousins that end up getting custody of these children who get taken away from the parents. And they turn around and let those parents see the kids outside of the confines of that court order. A lot of people do that. That's not right to do that. I think if you're going to do it, you need to do it legally. Follow within the parameters of the law because the law is at least trying to protect these children. So I understand why he did it, because most people feel like the biological parents should have a shot at raising the children. Some things happen and they're just like, you know what? I think you can do better. I think and believe that you can do better. So I get why he did it, but he still shouldn't have done it.
Kamari was not even born yet, but I moved down here to try to take her away from that upbringing back home. So I appreciate everything that y'all doing. I hope it don't stop here. Like, we strong together.
I love that he said that. Really, really do, man. Salute to that father, man. I truly believe in him, and I think that he has a good heart inside of him, and that is a huge, huge plus from us fathers, and especially those who come from really, really difficult backgrounds. Now, on the flip side, here is the biological mother's interview. I'm sure y'all are going to find this quite hilarious.
We begin with a News Leader 9 exclusive. You're about to hear from the mother of a child found dead in Phoenix City Monday night as the man accused of killing 5-year-old Kamari Holland sits in jail without bond. We're going more in depth on his potential charges. But first, News Leader 9's Rosalind Giles joins us now in studio with an interview you'll only see on WTVM. Rosalind?
Jason, tonight, a tearful conversation with the mother of the 5-year-old little girl officials say was kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and murdered, then left in a vacant house in Phoenix City.
She had a heart. She had a spirit that she's been here before.
The mother of little Kamari Holland stopped by News Leader 9 to donate toys to the WTVM annual toy drive to talk about her princess and the unbelievable hurt and pain she's having to endure as she tries to process what happened to her daughter.
I'm Kamari Holland's mommy, and she wouldn't want nothing in the world but to donate her toys to another little child that was in need because she was a very healthy child.
This woman looks like she's drunk right now. Screw the sympathy. She looks a hot ass mess.
Process what happened to her daughter.
I'm Kamari Holland's mommy, and she wouldn't want nothing in the world but to donate her toys to another little child that was in need because she was a very healthy child.
Russell County Sheriff Heath Taylor says Kamari was kidnapped from her mother's home in Columbus and found in the suspect's vacant home on 15th Avenue in Phoenix City. Sheriff Taylor also says
the manner of death at this time looks to be asphyxiation. It did appear from the scene that there was some sexual abuse.
A mother in tears trying to come to grips with her daughter's brutal death.
I'm coping. I'm making it.
Hoskins says Kamari's father, Corey Holland, had custody of.
Y'all don't see those dark rings under her eyes? She's probably in her late 20s, maybe early 30s. I'm assuming, even though she looked like she about a good 45 to 50, maybe older than that.
The child, and they lived in Phoenix City. Kamari.
Look at this hotel. I need to blow this up on the screen. Y'all bear with me a moment. I need y'all to look at this hotel because I'm so tired of seeing these nasty, dirty, filthy, stinky hotels. Let me make this bigger on the screen. Look at this. What the hell is a bamboo hotel? Are you kidding me? Bamboo? Come on, y'all. Who's ever heard of a bamboo hotel? I haven't. Is that a franchise? I'm sure it's not. That place looks like the roof is about to fall off of it. It looks disgusting even from this far point of view. Do I have a different picture of it? Let me see. How about this? Look at this. That place doesn't even look like it's suitable for homeless people. I would think homeless people would probably be in danger trying to live in this bull crap. I'm not trying to say you should have the most rich looking hotels in the world, but here's what I am saying is if you have to stay in a 0-star, 1-star, 2-star hotel, maybe you shouldn't be a parent if that's where you have to reside. Maybe you shouldn't have children in your possession. Maybe take care of yourself. No, that's not a $40 or $60 a night hotel. That's probably closer to about a pay-by-hour hotel. I'd say a good $15 will probably get it done. There's no way they're charging $40 or $60 a night. No way. No freaking way. $15, $20. And you're not going to get clean sheets. You're not going to get clean sheets and you're not going to get clean towels. Look at this sign. This sign has a big ass hole in it. Bamboo Motel. I wonder how many stars they have. It probably don't have stars. It probably has warning signs rather than stars. Hello? There are no stars. There are no reviews. There are just warning signs. Beware. Bed bugs, roaches, blood, and death surround this hotel. Absolutely disgusting.
Was at her mother's house when she went missing, something Hoskins says she had nothing to do with.
I'm a mommy, and I did not have nothing to do with this. She was my life. I lived for her daily. She was my only girl. I had 3 boys and her.
Hoskins.
Y'all hear what type of stupid crap she just said? She said, I wouldn't kill my child because I'm a mother. Really? Huh. Interesting. Let me point something out. Can y'all go back in my videos I'd say just since October, and look and see how many mothers have been arrested, charged, and convicted. They could either be charged, arrested, or even convicted. Just look and see how many mothers are associated with abuse, murder, and neglect of their children just since October on my channel. You don't even have to go back far. So what she's trying to insinuate is I'm a mom and moms wouldn't do this to their kids. No, actually, a lot of humans have done this to their kids, moms and dads, boyfriends and girlfriends. Right? It doesn't, that's what I'm saying. They tend to think that just because you are a female, that you are infallible. Just because you're a mother, you are infallible. And somebody has clearly passed this mentality to her. She doesn't see anything that she's done wrong at all. Listen to what she said. I'm a mother. There's no way I would murder my child.
I'm a mommy, and I did not have nothing to do with this. Did not have nothing to do with this.
She had nothing to do with.
I'm a mommy, and I did not have nothing to do with this. I'm a mommy, and I did not have nothing to do with this.
I'm a mom. Who says that? I'm a mom. I didn't have nothing to do with this. So I guess all a dad would have to say is I'm a dad. I don't have nothing. I wouldn't have nothing to do with this.
I'm a mommy, and I did not have nothing to do with this. She was my life. I lived for her daily. She was my only girl. I had 3 boys and her.
Hoskins says she hopes her daughter isn't remembered by the way she died, but by her sweet, giving spirit.
We were at the gas station one time and we seen a family out there, and one of the little girls didn't have shoes on, and she said, "Mommy, we can help them, Mommy, because I have so many pair of shoes at home."
I'm going to rewind this because that's very telling. Listen at the type of people that they live around. Listen at this, because some of y'all might not have caught it how I caught it.
Little girls didn't have shoes on, and she said, "Mommy, we can help them, Mommy, because I have so many pair of shoes at home." Little girls didn't have shoes on, and she said, "Mommy, we can help them, Mommy, because I have so many pair of shoes at home." Little girls didn't have shoes on, and she said, "Mommy, we can help them, Mommy, because I have so many pair of shoes at home."
Mommy, we can help them because I have so many pairs of shoes at home. First of all, that speaks to the innocence of children. I love that part.
Help them, Mommy, because I have so many pair of shoes at home.
The reason why that stands out is because of the fact that you live in an area or a hotel or wherever it is that you live at that has a bunch of children with no shoes. They can't afford shoes. That means y'all live in a poor environment because you're broke. And if you're broke and the people around you are broke and you have children, that means, especially small children, that means you didn't care about those children. You don't love those children. If you're broke and have children, you don't love your children because you'd be thinking, maybe I need to get myself together first. If the children are already here, then the damage is already done. What I'm trying to talk about is preventative. So if we understand that it's a problem, we need to be teaching the generation below us not to have children until you can properly take care of yourself and have an abundance of money and finances to provide the children. Because if you don't, just don't have kids. We can't fix her. You understand? We can't fix their situation. We can't fix all the children that apparently don't have damn shoes. We can't fix the fact that they can't afford to feed their children and send their children to school with proper clothes and bathe them and have heat when it's cold and AC when it's hot. That means they shouldn't have got themselves in that position. We can't fix that. We can fix the ones that have not got there yet. The generation below us. We're talking about preventatives, okay? Now, let me go ahead and move past this and get to my bigger point. Do I think the biological mother should be arrested? Yes. First and foremost, because she shouldn't have had the kids, and clearly it was a reason why she didn't have those kids. She is a danger to those children. The dad was trying to be nice, and him being nice got these children in a huge bind that he's going to regret for the rest of his life. You left an area of crime and ended up putting your children in a dangerous position. He's going to have to live with that. The mom should have not done this and proved the court's right that she's a danger to the kids. Okay? Yes, I think the father needs some semblance of sympathy. But just like how I hold other parents accountable and other relatives accountable, I hold the dad accountable and say that he made a bad judgment call here. The mom put her child around a dangerous person because the mom clearly doesn't care about herself, and all she cared about was her own personal pleasures and having this alleged boyfriend. So much so that she just flat out abandoned her kid. And that man had his way with that little girl anyway and every way, and ultimately murdered her. That man does not need to see the light of day and does not need to have another pulse in his body, have another breath come out of his lungs. But guess what? I think the mom needs prison time too. Because if she hadn't taken her child and given her child away to this man, which is what she did, then this wouldn't have happened. If the dad's trust would have been placed correctly, the mom should have did the right thing and never had her child around this dude. For that, I half the amount of time in prison that fool gets. The mom clearly got a ton of issues, and all she know how to do is take care of herself and pump out babies. She should not have reproductive rights. She should not have reproductive organs. She shouldn't have eggs. But also, the mom shouldn't be having seeds, which falls at the feet of the men. Irresponsible women like this, because it's not all, and it's definitely not the women in my chat or the women that I know. But these type of people shouldn't even have the seed of a man. We got to stop letting the little head outthink the big head and start thinking more than about our own personal pleasures, including myself. We all got to do better, okay? So let's continue to push forth a positive message. Let's keep the father in your prayers. I think he has a good heart, and I think he just made a grave error here. He just made a bad choice, okay? There's still 3 other children left in this situation, and let's hope that those children can grow up and become something great. I'm an advocate that hopes that the mom gets jail time for allowing this fool access to this kid, and that fool, he needs the fullest penalty under law. That's my final opinion on this story, okay? But we'll give you guys an update when he's totally sentenced, and hopefully the mom gets some charges too. Thank you guys so much for listening with an open mind as well as an open heart. When you date thugs, you date death. And I stand on that. Kamari, R.I.P.